Okay, so now that we have our tracks all organized, we know exactly where everything is, and we can find it quickly. The next step is to make sure everything's routed in a way that makes sense. And again, some of this is going to change on the fly, but a lot of it will stay the same. And for me, I kind of have a system, and since I have an assistant in particular, I created this fairly advanced system where I have all the drums I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different buses just for drums. I send all the drum close mics to this drum close bus. This allows me to process kick, snare, and things like that. Mics that are gonna be like 1 inch from a source and have that kind of too dry sound, I guess, can go there, and I can manipulate them as I see fit. For example, Pretty is hi-hats and overheads. This lets me, I'd almost never want to compress those, sometimes, but rarely. And so I don't want to trash them. I want to keep them nice and pretty, and so I kind of put them in this little bus. All the toms, which are our close mics, first go to the close mics bus. And so nowadays I'm using bottom and top on toms every time, and I recommend you try it heavily. I struggled for years with just the top of the tom sound, and to me it's just having both is a billion times better. But we have more tracks to deal with. Got a drummer with 4 toms, and that means we have 8 tracks. If we hear some mud, well, we have to go through 8 freaking tracks. A lot of this is a global thing where we could just use one EQ on this one bus right here, and be very happy. So you can work so much faster, and you can get 85% there a lot of times with global EQ. And then when one track's giving you hell, well, then you go to that and fix it. No big deal. We still have that option. But that routes them to the drum close and then ends up to the drum bus. And then also I have my attack and sustain, which is a parallel compression, but it's automatically routed to the drums bus too. That being so that if I want to mute the drums entirely, I push mute and all drums stop and they all shut up. And like on a mix I was working on recently, I had this up as a snare bus because I wanted the bottom and top of the snare to be summed together, and I wanted to compress those as one unit. But don't always do that, but it's always an option. And then a bass, I usually got a clean and a distortion track of bass. Those are already routed here. All my guitar tracks are routed here on the guitar bus, lead guitars on its own bus, and lead vocals, which I may have double, triple, quadruple vocals or different tracks on at different times due to who knows what or overlaps. Anyway, so this lets me adjust lead vocal levels and effects all at once if I feel like it. Then I got my backing vocals, the same thing. So you can see here that I've got a system in place that I'm very familiar with. And also, the color coding is the same, so that, well, you messed that up. Dang it, Ruprecht. So lead vocals are always color-coded, so it's easy for me to find what I need. If I know I need to mess with the drum bus, I know they're red, and they're right here. So it's a cool system by having it all color-coded and all routed properly, and I highly recommend you look into the subgroup business. You'll see why here in a little while as we go through these steps, but doing all of this stuff ahead of time, doing all the boring junk, lets us, get on stage and rock at the right time. Moving on.